Hi, my name is SUPGUYZ, and this is my first of hopefully many videos to appear on this channel. Anything gaming related really, so we'll see how it goes. But today I'm going to talk about one of my favorite 2D platformers of all time, Earthworm Jim. I'm going to try my best to explain everything about this game as much as I can and every version. So let's see how it goes. Earthworm Jim is a 2D action platformer developed by Shiny Entertainment and published by Interplay, where you play as a worm. Go figure, right? Jim was a regular worm until the bounty hunter Psycho lost the ultra high-tech, indestructible super space cybersuit that was being delivered to the evil queen, pulsating, bloated, festering, sweaty, pus-filled, malformed slug for a butt. Also known as Queen Slug for a butt for short. The suit, of course, of all places, landed on Earth, where Jim hid in said suit while trying to hide from hungry crows, transforming him to our beloved hero. Now, this game took off into sequels, spin-offs, and even a cartoon series. The late 80s and early 90s seemed to really capitalize off this kind of stuff where weird animal hero cartoon and video games really took off. When the show ran, action figures were also produced. Did Shiny create Earthworm Jim hoping they could profit from franchise sales? Maybe, but it didn't work anyway. Plus, who doesn't love action figures? At least the toys were actual characters in the game and TV show. I'm looking at you, TMNT. Fucking Ace Duck? Really? They should have renamed Foot Clan to Cash Clan. Catchy too. But I'm getting off topic. Earthworm Jim is just one of those stylish platformers that really stood out in a saturated market of the genre at the time. The graphics were detailed, and the art style felt like a cartoon and has aged really well even to this day. The sound quality is also just as worthy, the sound effects are super cartoony, and the background music is just perfect for each level. I'm playing the Genesis version mostly in this video, but the Super Nintendo version is pretty much identical. The Genesis looks a little crisper and the sound has a slight advantage, but overall both are excellent choices. These two I'm just going to talk about as if they were one. You have three actions: a plasma blaster to shoot your foes, a whip to whip your foes, and also to use as a grapple. And of course, jump. There's a special weapon you can pick up called the Barn Blaster, but there's very little ammo for it usually, and there's one major con to it, and I'll get to that later. And of course, like any other platformer, you jump from platform to platform, killing enemies and making it to your destination to defeat whatever boss is waiting for you, yada yada yada. But the difference in this game is the variety. You go from jumping through junk, racing Psycho through the galaxy, driving a vehicle underwater, fighting an evil kitty in a hellish planet, escorting your bipolar canine friend, and even duking it out with a snot monster in an arena with a snot bungee cord. This game always keeps up the pace and breaks the monotony. Another thing to note is that this game, every time you complete a level, you get one of the greatest victory screens I have ever seen.
Groovy!
And if you keep pressing buttons, you can make some sick beats!
Groovy! 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 Groovy!
But of course, no one is perfect. So when you get the Barn Blaster, you have to extinguish the little rounds you have before you can go back to your regular gun. This is kind of lame and ruins the point of the upgrade, I think. So let's say I want to save those few rounds I have for the boss of the level. I can't shoot my blaster at all until then. So that means I can only whip my enemies, which is kind of a pain in the ass. Also, since this is an earlier game, the difficulty can get on your nerves a bit, and of course, if you get a game over and have no can of worms left, you're stuck playing from the beginning of the game, no matter what level you are on. Now we've talked about the game a little bit, what platform should you play it on? Well, lucky for you and not so lucky for you, this game has been ported almost as much as poor Rayman 2. Okay, maybe not that much, but you'll see. Like I said, there's the Genesis and the SNES version, which of course were the original games to release. These are of course never a bad choice, but there is an HD remake developed by Gameloft all from scratch. This game is pretty much identical except a few backgrounds, having a level select screen, which means you can restart the level you died on after the game over, being able to switch your weapons, and a few brand new bonus levels. I recommend this version because being able to start from the beginning of the level is much less frustrating, albeit you aren't getting that original old school frustration from starting all over again. Not too long after the release, the game was ported to the Sega CD, named Earthworm Jim Special Edition, which is the same as the Genesis version, but improves CD quality sound and a few bonus levels. This version is good too. PC has its own special version which has more 3D-like animation, extensions to levels, and an exclusive level, Big Broody. This is also a good version, minus the aging of PC gaming, where platformers like this will be difficult with a keyboard, in my opinion. So use a gamepad and X-Padder to help that from aging. There's a Game Boy version ported by Eurocom that is, well, a Game Boy version. It's what you'd expect of a 16-bit game shoved and crushed down into a Game Boy cartridge. It's sluggish, feels like it's missing half the content, and the frames are slow, can cause you grief when trying to fight bosses. It's mediocre at best. They ported that version to the Game Gear only with color, which is the same thing. They then ported that version to the Sega Master System, but that was Brazil exclusive, which is a good thing, because it only contains the first 4 levels and then runs like complete shit. It sucks. Don't get it. Now, a few years gone by, and this poor game was once again ported to the Game Boy Advance, and it's, well, bad. It's much like the Game Boy version, just slightly prettier. It's very frustrating to play, and it's just a half-assed port. Not much else to say about it. Overall, Earthworm Jim is a timeless classic that I really recommend anyone who's into 2D action platformers to pick up and play. The difficulty can be a little ridiculous at times, but the HD remakes help that out a little bit. Other than that, that's it for now. Really. I appreciate you watching the video, and hopefully you liked it, and hopefully more videos show up soon. Thanks.